Hello, Michelle. This is Alka, and I'm from Global Women Power. So, Global Women Power is a nonprofit 501c based out of Fremont, California. And we are working for women's financial independence, creating jobs for them, network opportunities. And in the same series of helping, we have created this platform called Meet Our Sheroes. So where I believe that, if we listen to women firsthand, their raw story, without any preparation, and whatever comes up, that can be really inspiring for other women. So in this sequence, many women have joined us, and so many times I get so involved in the listening part of it, I forget my next question because everybody is unique in their own form and shape, whatever they are doing. So the way we run it is that, we will give it over to you, and then you just start your story from now and from where it started and where you are going. That's how we just try to cover it.
Okay.
So over to you, Michelle.
So you will hear sirens in the background, possibly because I live in New York City, Manhattan, and that's just part of the landscape. And the beautifulness of awareness is the ability to practice total presence and acceptance. So everything is an opportunity to practice, right? To not be controlled by our environment, but rather be conscious, connect to my own self so I can check in to see what I'm feeling and thinking, and then choose the wonderful freedom that awareness offers us, right? Which is to choose how to respond to stimuli. Well, that was a very spontaneous response to my siren.
Right.
I am a New Yorker by birth, so I guess that makes me an American as well. Yeah, I really love this island. Some people don't know that we're surrounded totally by water and beaches, but this is a playground for me. And let me explain a little bit why. A few blocks to my left is Little India. A few blocks to my right is Little Korea. Further south is, of course, Chinatown and Little Italy, as many might know. And just a few blocks north is Broadway, the theater district. And so the other day, someone said to me, "Oh, it's Friday. What do you have planned for the weekend?" And so I'll answer it to tell you again more of my values about life, as well as indication of my bio. So I answered, "I don't plan." And they said, "Oh, are you going to work? Oh, don't you want a break?" And I said, "I've decided to not distinguish between Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I love what I do. That's my responsibility, right? To love what I do, to love my life. So I don't wait for Saturday and Sunday. I make all those days as significant and balanced as I possibly can. And I do the same just to let everyone know who lives in California and thinks I'm crazy to live in New York. I love the seasons. I could not live without four seasons. Again, that's uniquely me. Everyone doesn't like all four seasons. But I recall similarly, as when I was younger, I would be freezing, I'd say, during winter. And so I wouldn't enjoy it. To which finally my awareness caught up with me and I said, "Are you really going to negate enjoyment of so many months of your life every year?" Similar choice. So I said, "No, I'm going to get warm jackets and hats and gloves and whatever I need, right, to now enjoy all four seasons." And I'll just end my little answer of where I'm from is, though I live in Midtown Manhattan, I am really blessed to live on a low floor. And I know everyone in New York thinks the best is to live in a high floor. However, for me, when I look out of my eastern windows and my southern windows, etc., I see trees. So I enjoy the seasons even more. One more thing. And New York is so lovely because I live on Park Avenue that when I look out of one of my windows, I see sculpture and new plantings continually. So I'm quite blessed. And Yeah, so that's a little bit about me in New York.
Mhm. So I think you are kind of selling us on New York, because
Oh,
people.
no, 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 no. We have many millions here. Nobody needs to come. No, 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 no. No, stay where you are. Enjoy your own home. This is not for everybody. We've got enough. It's okay. It's okay. No, no, no. I'm just telling you my experience. I don't sell New York. I don't sell even professionally. I sell nothing. Nothing. Go into that in a minute, but nope. This is my playground. I didn't even tell you actually one other part of my playground, which is the Metropolitan Museum of Art. That is my home away from home. It never ceases to amaze me, and it's just a 10-minute subway ride, or I bike there sometimes, and how much I learn. Go back in time in China or Egypt or India. Yeah, I have little meditation centers, by the way,
Mm,
uh, that I have found as a result of knowing it so well.
mm,
And it's just glory, or the newest in fashion.
mm,
So for me, the variety, the diversity, and the stimuli is just where I thrive.
mm,
So globally, it's the same,
mm.
no difference.
Because most of the time, when I talk to people living in New York, and they always talk about California, sunlight. Oh, we want to come to California. The first time, yeah.
I wish everyone to live where they love, right? Let's not even slice and dice and compete. I think it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Wherever you've chosen to live, may you enjoy your garden. Just
Mhm.
grow. May you grow.
So, Michelle, your title says Program Director, what?
Impact.
Impactor.
So yeah, so professionally, I've teamed up with someone in Dubai. She used to live in New York. Her company was here. And we have teamed together to offer low-income women in the MENA region, MENA, which is Middle East, North Africa, that's what it stands for, to help them become employed. Yes, low-income women become employed by 2030, and we're looking to do that for 1 million of them. And MENA is quite large. It's not one country, of course. It includes, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Morocco, up to Egypt, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, yet
Regional, yeah.
Mhm.
right? So it clearly has a few countries represented, and we just launched a week ago, Monday, this cohort where I've gathered 20 wonderful people who aspire. Impact Her is about to be a social impact entrepreneur. Now, what does that mean? Entrepreneur means you run your own business, yeah? So we certainly endorse making money so that you can have a roof over your head and food on the table and take care of your family and make a difference in the world, social impact. And our programs are fully funded, which is why I said I sell nothing ever. And we then can say, as a result of the gift we're giving you, pass it forward. That's an expression meaning, if you've been given a benefit, allow others to benefit as well. So we're asking, and we will help them after they finish our 12-week program. And then there's a phase 2 and a phase 3. But after a more connected supportive system, we then, help them with 1,000 each to help. And then if we help 1,000 of them and they each help 1,000, we're at our 1 million. So the math is easy.
So, what kind of jobs you create for them? Or
Don't
help them
create
create?
jobs for them. We
Huh?
don't. We don't create
Mm,
jobs for
mm,
them. We have in this cohort 20 aspiring entrepreneurs who have their dreams. And our responsibility is to help them make their dreams come true as a business, as a thriving business. One cares about refugees, one cares about making law understandable and accessible to women.
mm,
Some are in the health care area, some are dealing with artisans and freelance, or some are about the aging population. So we certainly don't determine their dreams. We just help them in that area, when, if you can remember when you were just starting out, oh, what should I do? What's my destiny? The program is really about them finding inner branding as well as outer. And I'll just take a moment to explain that. We live in a three-dimensional world, and a lot of what we've been told is about what to do out here, right? Well, yes, no doubt, what actions we take, what words we speak are very important. However, without taking responsibility for this inner environment, which determines how we see the world, how we interpret the world, and of course, how we respond to the world, you know, we know that's how it happens. So, we're responsible. I teach the inner. My partner teaches the outer, as you probably would have guessed. But anyway, that's my sweet spot from all that I've shared. And yeah, we then help them launch and thrive.
So these 20 people, they live here, these 20 entrepreneurs.
We don't do anything physical. They're all in the MENA region.
Okay.
MENA, Middle
All
East,
20 are there.
Middle East, no, we have no Americans.
Right. So all 20 are based out of that area.
Correct.
Okay. And then you are mentoring them. You said you uplift the inner side of them, and the other person does the mechanics of putting it together.
Right, it's a program. It's a 12-week program
Mhm.
where we, meet 4 days a week. And yes, we help them act, dream and experiment and explore. And yeah,
Okay, so you're completely focused on that area, right? So what I'm saying is that our audience, if we want to ask somebody to take help from you, so do you help that way also, or you are just helping that area only?
right now our programs are only helping women in the MENA region.
Okay.
We we can't do the whole world simultaneously. We have people asking us, out of India, out of Brazil, other places, Afghanistan, but we're going to perfect our program in this very wide area of the world, and we'll scale once we have that under our belt by 2030, when we
Okay.
have women who have successfully not only gone through our programs, but we're all about sustainability.
Hmm. So what we did, we helped about 2000 plus women over a period of time to find jobs. But then now I have created a niche. We started with something called community kitchen, which is being run by women only. So one community kitchen employs, about 50 women, like vendors, cook, servers, and so we are making food for, pregnant mom, and then also for anemic women. As a result, this thing is now 2 years old, and I see more and more attraction for that kind of, you know, very grassroots level work. Because if there is a woman who is deaf, cannot do anything other than the actions, and then very poor women, we just bring them in and then train them on cooking skills, and also teaching them global food also, so that they can also be sold in that area,
Yeah, nutritious. Yeah.
nutritious. So Nancy went to India, and then she was there for a few weeks. So it's going really well. So that is our way of creating employment. So I'm thinking of creating community kitchens all over the world. Like, it doesn't take that much, and food starts getting sold very easily. And very soon these kitchens, they become, on their own.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So because I was interested in knowing your ideas also, so that, if we can learn from your ideas, other than your um, 12 weeks program.
Yes.
So any idea you want to share with us, out or any outline of the program?
I'm sorry. Say, what are you asking me?
So ideas for, women's financial independence out of your program's outline, or, otherwise, do you have any ideas for us?
I mean, there are, you know, Alka, there are,
Any kind of program.
you know, everyone, you have your niche in the community kitchen, which is wonderful. You know, we have a very different structure, yes, to as I think I've already explained how we are helping uplift one another, and you know, we are inspired by these women who want to yeah, be social impact entrepreneurs, you know, be successful and, you know, lift thousands up each, regardless of where they are physically, right? And some want to, and we advocate, of course, them going to their homes meaning their home country. So Egypt, you know, our people from Egypt want to obviously help women in Egypt, or our women in Tunisia obviously want to help women in, I mean, this just goes without saying, I think it's a universal desire. And it's wonderful because, you know, the heart is there, the familiarity is there, the, you know, they're, you know, able to, you know, start, you know, their ecosystem is there, we can help with our ecosystem. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that there's also an impact physically, right? But we, yeah, we are looking again to impact as many women in this total region as we possibly can. And as I say, we don't dictate to any of the women what their dreams are or what they want to do. We just help them do it sustainably, successfully. As I say, you know, this balance between, you know, I love my part in it because I get to help them with what I have already shared, how we can hear sirens and not be changed. We can have the wars and yes, have great deal of compassion and, you know, how do we make a difference to not just, maybe I'll tell that story, you know, how we make a difference, you know, when some of us are so connected to the three-dimensional world. I don't live only in the three-dimensional world. I think many of us who have traveled know about the fifth dimension or the eighth, maybe even more, but let's just say the infinite. Amen, right? Amen. And I say this as a practical way to say when I hear, you know, oh, there's so much going on, what difference can I make? I tell this story. So, as I said, I was a New Yorker, born here. I decided to also undergraduate New York University, graduate school at Columbia. And when I was there, there was I'm sure you know this community or this organization, Amnesty International, that I was a member of. And no computers back then. I think we still had horse and buggies. No, only kidding. You know, we had no computers back then.
No
And
Radio Shack computers, right?
sorry?
No Radio Shack computers where the cockroaches come inside the engine, the motors and all that. Go ahead.
We didn't use those either. And so the way it worked was we were told we were assigned prisoners all over the world. And what we were to do month after month is just write by hand, letter after letter to the prison, basically saying, I mean, they were long letters, but it, in essence said, the world is watching, let them go. So it was our way of shining a light on that prisoner. Fast forward to the late 80s when the Berlin Wall came down, excuse me, I was visiting a friend in Dusseldorf, went through Checkpoint Charlie, and so the wonderful Berlin Wall come down, which is lovely. And then on my way to Vienna, Austria. And in the middle of the train ride, I'm hearing, get off at Prague. And I'm like, I don't have a place to stay. I don't have any plans. I don't think so. I'm going to Austria, but thanks for the idea. The voice persists, and needless to say, I get off at Prague and I say, okay, guys, if you're having me get off at Prague, make sure I have a place to stay, you know, because it's getting late and I, you know, don't want to obviously sleep in the streets. So found a place. Next morning, lots of parades, lots of celebration, balloons and candles and flowers. And I ask, what are you celebrating? And they say, for the first time, we just elected a democratic president, a democratically elected, excuse me, a democratically elected president. And I go, wow, congratulations. And who might that be? To which I'm told, Václav Havel. And I go, really? And he went, yeah, Václav Havel. And they say, really? Why do you say really? And I said, I know him. And they say, you know him? And I say, absolutely know him. And they say, how do you know him? And I say, when I was in graduate school, Columbia, I was assigned a prisoner for Amnesty International. And back then, Václav Havel was imprisoned for his poetry, and he was my prisoner, right? He was my prisoner. And he's written this book, Disturbing the Peace, yeah? And so wonderful. And I just went, what better way for the universe to show me that though we never know what we do will make a difference, and we may not demonstratively see it. So it was many, many years that every effort we make, whether it be whatever we do, makes a difference. And so for your audience, anyone who doubts that anything that is going on, they couldn't possibly make a difference, I hope they'll remember this story and continue doing what they're doing.
This is so encouraging. Thank you so much for that. I needed to hear it.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the philosophy of Gita, Gita, epic book of Hindus.
Mhm.
It says do, it is in Sanskrit, but what it means is, do things just for the sake of doing it. Do not worry about the fruit, like what will be the outcome. So don't focus on that. Focus on what is needed to be done at any time, and then the results are invariably there.
And
So,
I have compassion. I mean, our society says otherwise. Our society says win. Our society has reached the top of the mountain,
mhm,
and the next, and then the next. But thank goodness we have the Mandelas, the Gandhis, the Martin Luther Kings. We have many, 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 right, illustrating that very practice. That though there wasn't the immediate success and celebration, far from it, we have many examples throughout history where,
Malala, Pakistan. She's the one that fought for women. They should have an education.
yeah, so many, so
right,
many.
so many.
So, yeah, yeah.
So can you tell if, can you throw some light on for the funding for this impactful funding or some projects where we can also go for the funding from government sources or no?
We don't only go to government at all.
You know,
It's no, I mean, some when we have people we know, because it's a very hard area to navigate, we do a lot with corporations who really share our values and really want to. I mean, our values, we're about women, empowerment. We're about independence. We're about equity, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're about meeting every cohort or attendee must select an SDG and meet it. So yeah, we are very much about, finding partners who share our values. So again, I never sell. I don't sell anything, right? We either agree, on the vision and the effort to make the difference we're here to make, or not. And I'm not attached to any of it. And yeah, no, no.
have you written any books?
Yes. And that's not what again, women don't think that the magic happens when you write books. So conscious entrepreneurs, a radical approach to purpose, passion, and profit. And it's not my book alone, it's an anthology. I co-wrote it with others. But, let me not, suggest that once you write a book, you're going to be famous. No, that doesn't happen. But yes, it's lovely to reflect on where you were whenever you wrote it, and then to see, where you are today. Speaking of it like that, I'll also just share with you, I have been long looking for measurement tools to be able to witness our progress as a human being, our human development. It's easy to count money, we can count profits, those ROIs are easy. However, the human world, a human development world struggles with how to really measure, right? Advancement. And I'm now certified in a measurement tool that's called a life inventory assessment, which really takes many modules of your life, from spirit to work and finance to immediate family, extended family, leisure, et cetera, et cetera. But it's really a way to prioritize, what's important to you, what's not, as well as how content or satisfied you are in each of these areas. Your emotional energy, your happiness, your commitment in terms of time, et cetera, et cetera. It's been researched by many wonderful people. And I just want to say again to all those entering this world, look for ways to, business has KPIs, right? We all know about that. Well, we need more ways to measure, right? So because when we measure something, we're focused. Like, I used to be here, or we're walking a mile. I used to be step 2, now I'm step 3, whatever the advancement is. And so that's a big part of what I do as well, because it's important. I mean, right now, after, as I say, we launched Monday, and we had, I taught yesterday, which was Monday again. And, I gave them a 30-day challenge. I set up a 5-step holistic tool, let them customize it in accordance with their own heart, and then said, okay, let's see where we are in 30 days. So I will just encourage everyone to bring, what we know from science, helps us, have fun and support each other. And I'll say that as well, since you're looking, for more info, where we pair them up as accountability buddies, we mentor them one-on-one. I'll be meeting one-on-one with each of them. My partner will be meeting each of them, so we'll all be meeting. I'll be spending 20 hours meeting one-on-one with each, all of them collectively, and yeah, giving us support, not only in the program, and that's fine. I mean, we'll be supporting them on LinkedIn. I have experts coming in. She has experts coming in, so we expand beyond our own experiences, of course, and wisdom, to really broaden their network, let them experience more of the world, and see others who are doing this wonderful service. So yeah, support is another, measurement and support are two important components as well.
Michelle, what did you do with TV production? I saw that in your bio on LinkedIn.
When I learned that there was public access, I decided to learn how to be a TV producer. And that you had to learn how to work the equipment. Yet you went through a whole program because I won't let you touch it if you don't know what you're doing, and which makes sense. And so, yeah, I decided I'd learn that. However, Nancy, I, loved being more in front of the camera. I was doing yoga classes back then. I mean, I didn't say this part of my training. I spent certain time, certainly in India, it's my home away from home, because I studied with the master of Kundalini Yoga, Yogi Bhajan, when he was alive. And so at that time, he challenged me to be a yoga teacher, so I proved him right. It's like, oh, you're really challenging me for that? All right, I'm going to teach yoga. Of course, he's a master, so he knew how to get me to do that. I had no
Did you produce anything with any team, or you just learned how to do it?
Oh, no, you had to. I did a million shows. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you name some popular ones? I don't know if we'll know them. We probably won't.
Oh, you won't know them. They're just local TV shows here, Nancy. They stayed in Manhattan. for the little population here.
Queen for a Day, remember that one?
Yeah, that's on TV. This was
It's no longer, but that's a very old program.
that's not public access. Public access is required by every state to
Uh-huh.
say any citizen who wants to have a voice can come and have a voice on public access TV. That's not your commercial networks. So Queen for a Day was definitely on a commercial network. But yeah, so I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah. You asked about TV. Okay.
So what I'm hearing from you that your journey is more marked by the spiritual side of living, right? Is it so? Uh,
Well, it's my North Star, Alka. And I again I believe the outer only is determined by the inner, as I've already said. I know when I'm chaotic here, gee, the world seems to be a little more chaotic, and when I'm grounded and peaceful and joyful, no matter what shows up, I'm able to ride it. So just just prefer a higher quality of life.
Good attitude about it.
Right? Let me enjoy life. I know what it's like to struggle and be confused and upset and angry and, right? But that's the beauty of learning life.
So, I have also done my doctorate in metaphysics and have been counseling people for about 35 years. And what you are saying, it vibes well with me. That's how I think. I always say first sit down with yourself and consult yourself and see what comes up and then follow that. I have one question, just peer to peer, and many people ask me as well. Can this journey be done by your own self, or you always need a mentor?
I wouldn't say mentor, I would say community. We are social animals. We were never meant to journey alone, and it's a lot more fun and easier
So the
together.
spiritual journey.
The entire journey, Alka, the entire journey. My spiritual journey is I mean, what comes to mind to say is with God, my soul. I'm not asking, I don't impose any of that on any other human. But yeah, the spiritual part of me shows up in all of what I've just said. How do I live? Right? I mean, what choices do I make? How do I spend my day? What is my life about? Who am I? Not just, I mean, our society would like to think how old we are is important. And, to that, and I'll say this in case anybody would like to use it, is yeah, my age tells you how many times I've circled the sun. That's it. So if that's important to you, there you go, right? Certainly doesn't tell you my values, my vision, any my experiences, my insights, what have you, right? My stories. So yeah, I really love enjoying poking at the societal norms and having fun and not adhering to lockstep, worries. And I think that comes with awareness. So it's easier, right? I don't need to buy into any of it, right? I can really create. I think I shared, yeah, in my chat yesterday. See if I can pull it up. Really, probably not. Is it here? Yeah. It was a quote that I shared yesterday was edit your life frequently and ruthlessly. It's your masterpiece after all. Right?
Definitely art.
Right? So, I mean, if we all admire successful businesses, we should take a look at Apple. I think it's 4.4 billion, not sure, but something like that. So a dollar or two. And yeah, they innovate all the time. They are ruthless, editing, changing. That's what innovation really is. And yet, so many of us, couch that instead of innovation, mistakes and confusion, and it's not happening, or quick enough. Yeah. So, yeah.
It is quite an organic journey because, the way you talk about yourself or I talk about myself, but for a beginner, even if you ask them to sit down quietly for, 15 minutes, it's very hard for them. They say, oh, 15 minutes, I cannot sit, I'm having anxiety attacks and things like that.
Of course, but we understand that. I mean, the first time we do anything, it's challenging. So yeah, so we can help them through that discomfort and see it, and at least begin with compassion.
Right.
Yeah, society hasn't said go slow. Society says go fast.
But go fast.
So we can help them see why the old way of thinking, it doesn't work. But and to help them through that. Yeah, yeah. And certainly part of my workshop yesterday was about helping them understand how we can leverage neuroplasticity. When I was young, I was told, you're done. I mean, whoever you were at 3 or 5 or whatever age, I was cooked, and that's who I was. I mean, we didn't have the concepts of neuroscience and neuroplasticity. Now we do. And so we can, I mean, that's what I leave with. I don't just tell them, all of this information. Knowing isn't enough. We need to now know how to create it. And so it's learning about neuroplasticity. Yes, it's moving into a practice. Yes, you're not going to get it the first time, and or the second or the third any sooner than if you stood at the bottom of Mount Everest. If you just took one leap, you wouldn't make it to the top. I mean, it takes a few steps. So it just reminders, right, Alka? Just reminders, simple, simple, simple. What they are.
Simplicity is the key. Simplicity is the key to this journey, though.
And so again, I give information about the body, mind, and spirit always, because I'm very holistic in what I do. And then I say, okay, we talked about this quality of life. It's not enough just to even tell you about it. Let's be silly. Who cares? If that inspires you, now I have to give you tools to create it yourself. And I always do, right? Right? And, it requires, just like learning French or learning to dance or learning, I don't know, to be an astronaut, whatever you're looking to do. So we just sometimes forget. And so, as I say, the good news is we have each other to remind ourselves.
Very informative discussion we had, and also quite, what I will say is that pithy. Pithy is the right word for it. It is dense. You have to listen to you and understand and assimilate, what you are saying. But then those are the tools which everybody needs to get grounded and then be in tune with the universe, what's going on around you, rather than always worrying about future or regretting the past. So I get that message from you.
And I'm also an advocate of customization, right?
Mhm.
There's many ways to go about anything. So I never prescribe. I mean, I offer my experience. I offer suggestions or options. I mean, I feel that's appropriate. But then, however you need to journey to get there is your precious,
Right.
precious life. So
Do you take clients or you don't take clients as of now?
I do. I have clients.
Okay. And so what is the method for that? Is there a way to get to that?
They can just contact me via either on LinkedIn. I don't think there's too many of me on LinkedIn, or they can contact me via email. I'll just give my email as well. So it's my first initial M, my last name Risa, spelled R-I-S-A. I've just added an 11 after that, so mrisa11 at Gmail. Real easy.
Do you have any website of yours?
I do, but It's at this point easiest
Email
to,
is good.
you really want to, I'm happy to chat, happy to give you my Calendly afterwards, and, if you're
So
interested,
email is the best option, you're saying, or LinkedIn.
yes, please. That would be great.
mrisa11@gmail.com.
Yes.
Is it
Easy.
life coaching? Is that what you do also?
I don't call it anything, Nancy. Really don't. I've helped people with careers. I've helped, nutrition. I'm holistic because I don't believe in the silver bullet. I don't believe in meditation being the answer, going to the gym being the answer, fill in the blank, money being the answer. No. That again, that's my point of view, and I'm very happy for others to have theirs. But I have found the holistic approach is more sustainable and real. So, yeah.
I agree. Where did
Nice.
you live in India when you went there? Where did you live?
Yogi Bhajan was had an apartment in Delhi, but also out of Amritsar. So we were near,
Amritsar.
yeah, the Golden Temple. We were one of the first women to clean the marble in the morning. They were not allowing women to clean the marble, and we were one of the first. I am quite proud of that.
Yogi Basha, how do you spell his name?
Hajan.
Hajan. Yeah,
Harbhajan Singh Yogi is very famous.
Harbhajan Singh
White,
Yogi.
the white Americans followed him, white American Sikhs. His
Harbhajan.
wife, I think, is like a big politician in New Mexico.
BBG is a politician now? My
He
goodness.
was a mayor or something.
Was she? She's lovely. Well,
Maybe now she's retired.
I don't know. I haven't been in touch with her, but whenever I meet with Yogi Bhajan, she'd be with me as well, and she'd be my advocate. She was such a sweet lady. So I don't know what she's doing now, but if,
I met her, but I never met him.
yeah. Well, obviously, he was my first teacher, my teacher, and that's how I got certified in Kundalini Yoga. What better way than, in my opinion, to have it from his mouth, with all of his, weaknesses. People were shocked that he did this or he did that, and I just went, "You mean you're surprised he's human? Really? He's actually in physical form? I could have sworn we were all seeing him." Right? Why we forget these simple things, and right? It's like, "Oh, did you hear?" And it's like, "Yeah, okay.
Were you involved with the white American Sikhs, his group, or you just went there for the Kundalini yoga?
I don't know when you say involved, was I part of the
They
community?
wore the white and the white turbans and all. They look beautiful. And the veil behind the turban.
We all had to wear white whenever we met for solstice or whatever, but I never took the Sikh vows. I never, converted, but loved learning about seva. And I'll just say, what I also loved when this turn of events was that when it was your birthday, you gave presents, you gave cookies out to everybody instead of the American tradition, or maybe in other countries, of course, too, is you receive gifts. So I loved Yogi Ji for shifting that experience from receiving presents to gifts, excuse me, to giving it. So, and he loved cookies. Oh my God. Whenever you visited him, the best, if you gave him good cookies, he was like, oh, because he wasn't,
You are in.
you weren't supposed to give him sugar, and you weren't supposed to give him something. He told us all the tricks he did to try to get, the people who were watching his diet so carefully, how he was, get someone to, like buttered popcorn at the movies. He loved the movies. He'd go, put the butter on the bottom. On the bottom, they'll only taste the top. They won't know that I had the butter. He was like a 3-year-old kid.
It's like there's a mother saint, Amma. She hugs everyone. She goes to all these different communities. She
He
loves
wasn't,
cookies
he
too.
wasn't, he wasn't a hugger. No, no, no. Yogi Bhajan was
No,
definitely
her
not.
thing was hugging. And she
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah.
sit for 3 days straight, not even get up to go to the restroom.
I've been hugged by her. Yes, I've certainly met her. But yeah, he was a child,
Right.
It's lovely to witness that part of him. It really was. And BBG had patience of a saint, his wife. So I admired her. Anyway, so there you go with those experiences as well. So mentors, right? Even mentors are human if they're in human form.
Right.
Anyway, looks like Nancy's looking for something. Anyway, it
Can't
was a,
find my glasses. I'm looking at the time to make sure we're not over because I promised
So
you
thank you,
an hour
Michelle,
on this.
and
we're wrapping up.
we will share with you this recording and
Okay.
also share with all the other people, those who are on our platforms. And if they want to reach out to you, good. And I will go through your book if it is available on Kindle. No?
I know it was written a while ago, but
Conscious entrepreneurs. No?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All
All right
right.
then. Hope to see you sometime again.
Okay. Thank you for this
Thank
chat. And I, enjoyed being in your presence and,
Same
hope
here.
audience finds something of meaning for them in the hour, nearly hour we had together. So I hope it was of value.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for being yourself. Wonderful. Okay.